Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Dominique, the owner of the Healing Tree. We're holistic care for the body and mind. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit interesting today, and we're going to talk about male waxing. Now, I've done female waxing, female Brazilians, I've done everything else, so men, this is geared towards you. So listen up. Women, share it with your husbands, boyfriends, uncles, brothers, cousins, whomever you want to share it with. But I'm telling you right now, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be the down and dirty, straight talk. It's honesty and thoughts about the rising trend. Now, when I say rising trend, there's a lot of things that are going with it. First of all, let's talk about what women think. Men, listen up. What women think are basically the number one complaint that women have about men. And let's be real, let's be honest, let's talk about it. The big hairy scrotum, big hairy balls. It's the number one thing. Talking to everyone that I've ever asked is what they always say, especially with husbands and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the number one complaint. Number two, it's basically a personal preference. It's basically when you look at your spouse and you see a little fuzzy butt and sometimes it's not there, or their backs. You know, we have a lot of guys who are just born with a sweater on them. Some men are okay with it. Some men would prefer to take that off. So it's a personal preference as well. And us women, men, listen to this. Us women do prefer a groomed man because that shows that you care about yourself, how you look, and that you are also willing to take care in yourself. If that makes sense to you. So what men think is pain, pain, and more pain. That's usually what men think as soon as they go into waxing. No! And then all the other thoughts start flooding in. It's like, what if I get an erection? Is she gonna put me on all fours? Those are the thoughts that I have come across in the years of experience that I have. That's the first thing that men think. I'm telling you right now, don't worry about that. Things do arise. You're having a woman handle your junk. Okay, that's just gonna happen. As long as you're a gentleman and you're okay, I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing. If you really, really want to have something that you can look up by yourself, you know, when you have time and everything, there's a website called Waxing for the number 4 Blokes. It is a British website from the UK, but is honesty. It was a Q&A website, and it was absolutely wonderful. It had really, really good questions and answers and the whole 9 yards. So if you want to talk about that, or if you want to read about that, go on there. They had a thing on there. It also is saying the top 5 reasons of getting waxed. So basically what you're looking at is the number 1 reason is a spouse/partner preference. We all know that. I prefer my partner to be well groomed. I don't want to sit there and have a hairy beast. You know, but that's just my preference. I liked less hair on a person. There are women who like a lot of hair. So as I said, it's a personal preference. Number 2 is the rise of self-awareness. More and more men are becoming more aware of themselves, as in being groomed, as in looking good out in the environment. You think of the models that are coming out. You think of these CEOs. They have to look good. Not only does a woman have to look good for her job, men are knowing they have to look good as well, because I mean, we want to be surrounded by good looking people. That's just our environment. That's our society nowadays. Number 3, obviously we all know this one, is swimmers. Swimmers, you have the advantage if you take all the hair off. You have the little time advantage of beating, in the competition, stuff like that. Number 4, it's more hygienic. I will have a lot of people argue with this. It's the same thing I've had people argue with me when you do women's Brazilians. They're like, well, you were supposed to be having hair. You're born with hair. Yes, we're born with hair. That doesn't mean we have to have that hair. When you have hair, it traps the smell. It traps the odors. It also traps sweat, and it also takes longer for that to go away. You can scrub a few times, but as we all know, it takes a little bit. So it's more hygienic in my opinion. And also that was one of the number 4 reasons. Number 5 was a personal preference. More and more men, like I said before, are becoming groomed and wanting to do that because they want to look good. They know in society it gives them that little edge. Facts. It is the fastest growing market out there. Grooming, skincare, hair care, even makeup. Look at what's trending nowadays. One of my absolute favorite people, Manny Mue, I think that's how you say his last name. I watch him all the time and I still can't say his last name. He is one of the top 20 people in People magazine to watch, and all he does was wear makeup. It is amazing how that's, you know, changed. And the gentleman who's on the CoverGirl magazine, or not magazine, I'm sorry, who is there for CoverGirl, their new model, their new face, it's a guy. It is changing. And yes, men have worn makeup for a very, very long time. All your actors, do you think they just look like that when they go in front of the camera? I don't think so. They have to wear makeup. More and more men are getting into that. They're into facial care, skincare, the whole 9 yards. In 2016, AMP.com said there was an estimated of 21 billion forecasted for this year of men spending money on products. 21 billion. That's a lot. Up most September 9th, 2016, more men are more aware of themselves. They have a greater variety of choice, cultural, liberal, and it's becoming more mainstream now. So that's something that we are expecting from men now. It's not just, oh, I am men, you know, let me beat my chest. It's not that anymore. It's basically we're allowed to be who we want to be. As us women, so are men. Why not? And it's nice to see that form of expression coming out. HuffPost, August 22nd of 2016, waxing is now a global market. So there's your $21 billion right there. So you have in the UK, you have a bunch of gentlemen who are walking around, they're looking like models walking the streets. You have the very diverse country of America, of all the different gentlemen that are out there, men who are growing beards or have the very, very fine hair here, no hair chest. You know, there is a preference galore out there. So if you're looking at it that way, yes, men are taking time for themselves. They're coming in, they're spending their money in spas, they're getting their nails done, they're getting waxing done, they're getting the whole 9 yards. They're having a spa day just like us women. Now, with what I provide, I do a full service waxing. That means from head to toe and everything in between. That's for women and men. And that's what I've always said. I do have professional experience with men, young, old, hairy, non-hairy. I have done it all. There's gentlemen that I have done that are 75 years of age, and I've done men who are 18, 19 years old. It's really, really the whole gamma. Now, with me, like I said before, you know, one of the biggest things that come up that men always are embarrassed about, and I understand that, because you don't want to come across, because again, the society we live in, you don't want to come across as, well, if I get erection, that means I want to have sex with her, and she's never going to want, and she's going to make me feel guilty, and this, that, and the other. Stop right there. Stop that train of thought. If you come in and you're a gentleman, you have no problems. I'll be very honest with you. As long as you act very nice and act like a gentleman, I don't have a problem with it. I'm a woman. I'm going to be touching your junk. I'm going to be moving your penis around. You can't help that. With women, you pretty much just have to move a leg out of the way or something like that. With men, you got to move everything. You got to move the scrotum, the penis, the whole 9 yards. So it is bound to happen. But I'm telling you, once that wax goes on, it'll go away, I promise you. Now, am I going to put you on all fours? That's a personal preference. Yes, it is easier to get in there if you just kind of like put your butt in the air, but all you got to do is roll over and boom, you're done. Now, with that said, that is doing your Brazilian. So many men are thinking, I'm like, why would I want a Brazilian? Aren't we supposed to have hair just the same way with women? Now, ask yourself, does you want a nice smooth woman? Why not smooth for her as well? You don't have to take everything. It's just like women. You don't have to take everything. You can leave a little bit. You can do a bikini line. You do we can talk about that when you come in here. So don't get worried and worked up about that. You're good. Now, with getting the hair and wanting to know when to come in and everything, as in my other video with Brazilians, it is the length of the hair. It's a grain of rice. It's 1/4 of an inch. Just make sure that it is long enough for the wax to grab, and you should be fine. I'll move you around. Don't have to worry about everything. I'm going to take just as good as care of you as I was with doing a woman as well. Yes, it is part of the Brazilian to roll over and do just around the anus. Some men just want that done, which is fine, because as men, you have a lot of hair down there, so you don't want to sit there and have a hairy butt. I've done that before of men just coming in and it's like, I don't want everything else, I just want this. Is that weird? No, it's not weird. You just prefer to have a clean backside. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's fine. But that is included in the Brazilian. So again, when you come in, we can talk about that. Now, again, all the hair is a personal choice. When you're coming in, you are coming in knowing that I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you before care, after care. You're going to leave with a pamphlet so you know what's going on. The same as I would do with anybody else. There is no shame in your game. It is a huge, huge popular thing now. Even if you're not getting a Brazilian, you can get your back waxed. You can get your beard waxed. You can get your chest, your abdomen, legs if you need to, your arms, wherever you have hair, you can get that waxed off. So men, be upfront and honest. There are not a whole lot of places out there that are willing to do men. And what I mean by that is some women are so scared in that respect of what if. Again, I have professional experience. I've been doing this 5+ years, and the whole 5+ years I have done men's eyebrows, I have done a ton of backs, I have done a ton of Brazilians, a few chests and stuff like that. Same concept as doing the back. Those were my popular services that I did, hence the reason why I said that. But if you have any questions or any comments or anything, feel free to leave them on here. I'm here. I'm honest. I tell it like it is. I'll be very, very, frank with you if you need that. But I will also be very sincere, and I will also let you know that no question is a rude question. No question is a weird question. But if you want to have professional care with professional experience, I'm your person. So look at my Facebook page. It has all my services listed on there with prices. I'm on here on YouTube, and I'm also on Instagram and Snapchat. So share away, share it with somebody that you think that might could benefit from this or anything. Say, hey, hint, hint, just saying. But again, I'm Dominique, and I'm the owner of the Healing Tree with holistic care for body and mind, and we are going to take care of you.